Okay, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Economist Impact Second Annual Croatia Summit. Dobar dan, dame I gospodo, dobrodošli na konferenciju. Welcome, Prime Minister. My name's Joan Hoey. I'm the editor of the Economist Annual Democracy Index, and I'm a Europe consultant at the Economist Intelligence Unit, and I'm your moderator for the day. Before we get the proceedings underway, I'd like to thank all our sponsors and supporters without whom this event would not be possible. You can see them all on the screen behind you. We very much appreciate your support. Thank you very much indeed. The event's also been organized in collaboration with the European Commission, supported by the Croatian Chamber of Economy and by AmCham, and thanks, of course, to the input from the government, greatly appreciated. We'd like to give a special thanks to Domagoj Juricic for his invaluable help, together with MKPS, and thanks also to MSS Pulse. Now, before I invite the Prime Minister to join me on stage for the official opening session, I just wanted to show you a few slides to help frame the discussions that we're going to have today. I don't want to take time away from the Prime Minister, so I'm going to present these slides very quickly, so you might want to take photos of them. There's 5 slides, and I'm only going to spend a few minutes on them. So we've got the first one now on screen. I think maybe as a framework for our discussions, it's useful to think about the 3 major shifts that are reshaping the global order and also the outlook for our regions. First of all, of course, a theme very familiar to all of you, AI and the technology and digital revolution more broadly, which has the potential to spur growth, but is also creating quite a lot of uncertainty and may, in time, create significant disruption as well. Second, we've entered an era, obviously, of increasing great power rivalry and competition, and that is reshaping alliances, generating tensions and conflict of different sorts, and a new competition for spheres of influence. And third, we're seeing how those 2 shifts are politicizing and even weaponizing policy in many areas, from trade to tech wars and so on. Now, I think as a consequence, for economists, the job of forecasting has got a lot harder. We see tailwinds, crosswinds, headwinds, all having countervailing influences on the global outlook, and you can see some of them mentioned here. So on the one hand, we have these tailwinds, such as this huge AI investment boom that is boosting capital expenditure and equity markets and really encouraging growth, especially in the US, where the economy has been much more resilient than many would have thought. We have crosswinds, such as the unexpected consequence, maybe, of the tariff wars, which is spurring new trade alliances, new free trade agreements, and so on, rerouting supply chains. And then we have headwinds, including, for example, a slowdown in growth and deflation in China, which is slowing investment and consumption, despite the official growth targets. That's just a few of these kind of countervailing trends which are shaping the global outlook. The upshot of all this is heightened uncertainty, global uncertainty, which historically, as we know, has not been good for growth. But I think things are a lot less uncertain now at the end of the year than they were at the beginning of the year. And so far, the impact of the AI tech transformation has been much more positive than negative. Tariffs have been less of a drag on growth than many had expected, and that's because what we saw was a huge front-loading of trade, especially in the first half of 2025. So we're not seeing the kind of negative impact on trade. Certainly we're seeing shifts in trade, and we see the service economy doing very well in many places. So, yeah, less uncertainty, I think, and a kind of some unexpected, maybe, upsides. This is just giving you a quick snapshot of the global economic outlook for 2026, where we see GDP growth still being quite lackluster, as in 2025, with emerging markets faring better than developed markets. The color coding on this chart shows the countries that are experiencing the most anemic growth or weak growth are shown in purple and dark blue, and the fastest growing economies are shown in red, orange, not many of those, yellow and green. And just Europe, this is what Europe is looking like in terms of the growth outlook in 2026. And what we see here, as we've done for several years, is the better performing economies are in Eastern Europe and Southern Europe, and that includes Croatia. And that, yeah, as I say, that's been the case for several years now, and we expect that to continue. So that's just a very, very quick, I'd like to spend more time, but as I say, don't want to take time away from the conversation with the Prime Minister, which I know you're all very much looking forward to.